So once again, I'm here with Jan McNeilin, who is our Tips of the Month gal. How are you, Jan?
Good.
And so this time, you know, it's that weird time of year where it's hot and kind of cool at night, then back hot.
Yeah.
So I've noticed things in my own garden on my tomatoes, some leaf curling. Let's talk about that.
Well, sometimes it can be environmental, and sometimes it can be genetic. Sometimes it can be a virus, and other times it can be literally herbicide damage.
So the herbicide we would know because we've sprayed something, so that could be a clear. But how about the other stuff? How
well,
would you
the
know?
virus you're not going to do much about, and genetics you're not going to do much about. This particular tomato was really bad in the beginning, and it's sort of grown out of it. But I think it's a tomato that's just going to look kind of funky.
It's always going to just do
right,
that.
but it's got tomato set on it, and it's got some blossoms, so I'm not going to worry about it.
And as long as it is blooming and the fruit is setting, really,
That's all
you're
you want
good.
anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else do you got for us
Fruit's
today?
good to go. Some we have cool weather like today, or then we'll get some really hot weather, and it will plants will bolt, like spinach and chard and basil will get flowers sooner. And snap them off. Or cole crops, bok choy often does that.
Well, I'd always thought the cole crops. I got that, so the broccoli and all that stuff, but those were some names in there like basil that I had not associated with the bolting thing. So that happens too.
It's going to flower anyway, but if the more you pick off the blossoms on the basil, you're going to get more leaves, and that's what you want anyway.
Okay, so just pay attention to what your garden's doing.
And just know that sometimes you can get varieties that say they don't bolt.
Yes, okay.
And so that you might want to think about that as well.
Okay.
What's next? We got a list here today.
We do.
Insecticidal soaps. If you make your own, sometimes you can make them too strong, and if you're using anything like, say, for aphids, on a hot day, you can do some foliage burn. But remember, with an insecticidal soap, you need to cover the insect. And it isn't discriminatory. It also will get any other insect that's there as well. So make sure you're really getting it on what you need. You also can use hot or hard sprays of water to knock aphids off. Just be careful with home remedies as such, because sometimes you'll create something that's worse than if you had purchased it from a reputable company that has already come up with the right formulation.
Because the science for those companies actually had to occur for them to market it, so they've got the balance right.
Exactly.
And then too, I had forgotten about that, but even an organic spray, it's not selective on what it kills, so it'll kill ladybugs as much as other stuff.
It's going to smother larvae of other insects that may be good. So you might want to try hard water sprays, or with roses, sometimes what I do is just squeeze up the top to the bud and shake it off, and that many aphids are gone.
Oh, gone. Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. We talked about mildew last month on 9-bark.
Yes. On
Coppertina 9-bark. It hasn't gotten any worse on the shrub that I have, but if you have mildew on anything, it's also one of the things you can do something about is air circulation.
Put a fan on it?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Run an extension cord and put a fan on it. No, just maybe do a little selective pruning to get the airflow going through better, and it'll reduce that mildew.
Perfect, perfect.
With the last thing we have here are some traps. These are apple maggot traps these are purchased, but you could use a Christmas bulb as easy as anything. And what you do is now's the time, or it may be because we're a little ahead of the weather this year, it may be a little bit late. But you this is tanglefoot. You can use Vaseline, but this is tanglefoot. You rub it all over this, and you hang it in the tree, and supposedly the critters, the adult moth, is attracted to the red. These aren't so red anymore because they've been used, but you can paint something red and then hang it in the tree, and then when you see an adult moth, either you say, okay, you're not going to lay any eggs in my apples, or it's time to spray.
And Jan,
if you're going to spray.
I'm a smart guy, but I never thought about using tanglefoot on those traps, because those traps actually come with something that attracts them.
They do. Well, yes, but this is all you need is the red. The red is what attracts them.
And then
it's like hummingbird juice. You don't need to make hummingbird juice red.
Perfect.
The hummingbird feeders are red, and that attracts the hummingbird.
And see, I never thought about that. And then what else do you have last?
Well, I have codling moth traps here, and it's frankly a little too late for that. And these are also, it's a little tent that you put in that has a pheromone in it that attracts the adult, if I can get it out of here. But it's a little late for that.
Okay.
And so it's a monitor trap. And these are literally to monitor so that if you're going to spray, these are sticky traps that have pheromone in it. And this opens up like a tent and that you can hang in your tree.
Yeah.
But I should have done it like in May.
Yeah.
Late April, early May.
And your grandson also has something that he's going to bring
Riley,
over. What
come
is
here.
that?
Bring that over here. We got one more thing. We have a pantry pest trap that I've been seeing meal moths in the kitchen.
Yes.
And so what this is, same idea, a little tent. It's sticky on the inside. This is a safer trap. And these boxes come with two pheromone stickies. And you open this up, stick it inside, and then you put it in your bread cupboard or your rice or your cereal or anything like that. And you'll end up with a whole bunch of adult moths, and you won't have to spray in a kitchen because you don't want to do that.
And you don't have to eat them when you're eating your cereal or something like that,
So
too.
these are really good. I put them in my pantry in the basement. I put them in the kitchen, top of the refrigerator, wherever it's warm.
Perfect, perfect. Well, there you go. You know, there's always something to do in the garden, and thanks to Jan, we know exactly what we should be paying attention to at every time of the year. Thanks,
All right,
Jan.
see you next month.
All right.
Thanks, Riley.
You're welcome.